was every reason why Mrs. Hay should be held in esteem and affection. Bill Hay himself was a diamond in the rough, square, sturdy, uncompromising, generous, and hospitable. His great pride and glory was his wife, his one great sorrow that their only child had died almost in infancy. His solecisms in syntax and society were many. He was given at times to profanity, and at others, when Madam was away, to draw poker. But officers and men alike proclaimed him a man of mettle, and never hesitated to go to him when in financial straits, sure of usurious aid. But even had this not been the case, the popularity of his better half would have carried him through, for there was hardly a woman at Frayne to speak of her except in terms of genuine respect. Mrs. Hay was truth telling, sympathetic, a peacemaker, a resolute opponent of gossip and scandal of every kind, a woman who minded her own business and was only mildly insistent that others should do likewise. She declined all overtures leading to confidences as to her past, and demanded recognition only upon the standard of the present, which was unimpeachable. All the same, it came something like a shock to society at Frayne that when she appeared at the post this beautiful autumn of 1880, nearly 3 months later than the usual time, she should be accompanied by this brilliant and beautiful girl of whom no one of their number had previously heard, and whom she smilingly, confidently presented as "my niece, Miss Flower." There was a dance the night the Dades got home from Laramie. Nearly all day long had they driven in the open buckboard over the rough, winding road along the Platte, and Mrs. Dade was far too tired to think of going. But Esther was so eager that her father put aside his precious paper, tucked her under his arm, and trudged cheerily away across the parade toward the bright lights of the Hop Room. They had a fairly good string orchestra at Frayne that year, and one of Strauss's most witching waltzes, Sounds from the Vienna Woods, had just been begun as father and daughter entered. A dozen people, men and women both, saw them and noted what followed. With bright, almost dilated eyes and a sweet, warm color mantling her smiling face, Esther stood gazing about the room, nodding blithely as she caught the glance of many a friend, yet obviously searching for still another. Then of a sudden they saw the bonny face light up with joy uncontrollable, for Mr. Field came bounding in at the side door, opening from the veranda of the adjutant's office. He saw her, smiled joyous greeting as he came swiftly toward her, then stopped short as a girl in black grenadine dropped the arm of her cavalier, the officer with whom she was promenading, and without a moment's hesitation placed her left hand, fan bearing, close to the shoulder knot on his stalwart right arm, her black gloved right in his white kidded left, and instantly they were gliding away together, he nodding half in whimsical apology, half in merriment over the black spangled shoulder, and the roseate light died slowly from the sweet, smiling face. The smile itself seemed slowly freezing, as the still dilated eyes followed the graceful movements of the couple, slowly, harmoniously winding and reversing about the waxen floor. Even at the Point she had never seen more beautiful dancing. Even when her stanchest friend, Mrs. Blake, pounced upon her with fond, anxious, welcoming words, and Mrs. Ray, seeing it all, broke from her partner's encircling arm and sped to add her greeting, the child could hardly regain self-control, and one loving-hearted woman cried herself to sleep that night for the woe that had come into the soft and tender eyes, which had first beamed with joy at sight of Beverly Field, then filled with sudden dread immeasurable. But the major sought to block that morning ride in vain. The impetuous will of the young soldier prevailed, as he might have known it would, and from the rear gallery of his quarters, with his strong field glass, Major Webb watched the pair fording the Platte far up beyond Pyramid Butte. "Going over to that damn Sioux village again," he swore between his set teeth. "That makes the third time she's headed him there this week." And with strange annoyance at heart he turned away to seek comfort in council with his stanch henchman, Captain Ray, when the orderly came bounding up the steps with a telegraphic despatch which the major opened, read, turned a shade grayer, and whistled low. "My compliments to Captains Blake and Ray," said he to the silent young soldier, standing attention at the doorstep, "and say I should be glad to see them here at once." That night the sentries had just called off 1:30 when there was some commotion at the guard house. A courier had ridden in post haste from the outlying station of Fort Beecher, far up under the lee of the Big Horn range. The corporal of the guard took charge of his reeking horse, while the sergeant led the messenger to the commander's quarters. The major was already awake and half dressed. "Call the adjutant," was all he said, on reading the despatch, and the sergeant sped away. In less than 5 minutes he was back. "I could get no answer to my knock or ring, sir, so I searched the house. The adjutant isn't there." End of chapter 1.